Sorry about that. Hey, folks, welcome to the Settler's Path Grievances WildStar cast. With me tonight, I have Kannon, which is myself, me, myself, and I. I have Streeg. Hello, Streeg.
Hello, hello.
I have Creed, Mr. Creed.
Hello, everybody.
And then I have Steelheart. Good evening, Steelheart. Yes.
Hey!
Checking over his shoulder. Where's the cat?
It's down here.
Down there. Okay, so we're safe. The cat is safe. Okay. So tonight, what do we got tonight? We have a video. We like videos. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming heads-up display that Carbine is going to be giving us, and a few other things, whatever pops up, actually. So it's going to be a short cast for us tonight. Have a good night. See you guys later. Oh, no.
Psych!
Psych.
Not that lucky.
Gentlemen, Mr. Streeg, we'll start with you. For me, you're at my top right, so we'll start with you. Yes. What do you think? How important is the heads-up display, the HUD, in your gaming perspective? We were talking about this earlier.
Huge, huge. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I spend a lot of time when I first get into a game moving the different pieces of the HUD around to get it just right. You got your chat, you got to worry about your chat box and making sure you got all the different tabs so that you can look at just certain things depending on which tab you're at. You've got all your toolbars and your hotkeys and your health bars, and especially in a game like this where you've got the action combat, you got the telegraph system on the ground. That center part of your screen is just critical. You gotta have that center part of the screen. So the fact that they've gotten rid of that big, bulky, giant pyramid-shaped thing in the center, just below the bottom of the screen, and kind of open that center part up and move things around, I think is huge. I mean, you really, really needed that. I'm hoping those individual pieces are a little bit flexible and being able to move around the different pieces. I know it's going to be extremely important for the engineer classes out there, but even for those of us that don't plan on playing an engineer, I think it's a big, big thing. Now, I did notice the pictures that they had. They didn't have like chat boxes or the quest little thing on the side that says what quest you're on and what you have to do. So they made it look cleaner than I think mine will look, but but still, at least as long as you've got that center part of the screen that you don't have to worry about, I think it's going to be a huge improvement. Big time.
I agree with you. What do you think, Creed?
I'm like Streeg. The importance of being able to move a UI around and everything being in the right position is so important. Some of us played in a game in the past where when the game first came out, you couldn't move anything. It was you couldn't do nothing with it, and to me it was real aggravating because one, you couldn't see, two, you drug abilities and what have you on a bar, and you were just limited. You couldn't open anything else up, and then when you could move it, it was like it was just like a new game, and everybody could put everything where they wanted, and it was just like a new game, literally.
Yeah.
And so, like a Streeg said, if the ability is to drag stuff around, I'm going to spend a long time moving stuff around. The UI is going to look nothing like it does from like the default setting. Everything's just going to be all over the place, and it's a work in progress. As you play the game, you're going to move stuff around again, and finally you'll get what you want. Who knows, the ability to, as other games, the ability to share your UI, maybe. I don't know. That'd be a good idea, because I'm always up for suggestions of, wow, that UI looks it looks better than mine. Okay, can you send me whatever you got to send?
Something we'll have to put on the forums then is, what's your UI, so people can what works for them.
Exactly.
That's right.
A thread of share your UI format or your layout, and it's like, wow, that's a good one right there. I like that better than mine, so that's huge. UI is huge.
Yeah. Now, Steel, you know from a different perspective because being, you're always leading a guild in some fashion and everything like that. So your screen has to be even worse than any of our normal players, So
Oh yeah.
tell us how nasty your screen can get.
Well, it all depends if I can shrink or enlarge certain things in the UI. I usually like my health and my enemy's health, all that type stuff up in the top left. I like to have a decent size chat box, depending on what other things I have, either in the top right or the bottom left. Sometimes one in each, depending. I'll usually have one for guild chat, one for every other chat. Unlike most people, I don't turn off the common chat or whatever you want to call it.
General
chat.
Yeah.
I don't turn that off. I like to keep my hot bars as minimal as I can get them. Because, well, like most of you know, I use a Nostromo, so I know where everything is anyway. It's just a precursory glance for me at the hotbar, rather than a necessity to see the icon. But yeah, I've basically got a frame of crap all the way around. But I like being able to do that and keep that middle open. That's very important to me, to keep that middle open, especially as a tank, because I like tanking. So I like to be able to see what's going on as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's going to be very important to have that screen space available in this game because of all the tells and everything we have going on. So we'll throw some props out here to Yogg's cast because that's it's on a YouTube that we're going to be showing here. And what we're showing is they have two halves of the Stormtalon dungeon run. We're going to show about 3 minutes of the last boss, Stormtalon itself, in the cast. Now it's going to be kind of 3 minutes of silence. We did kind of remove the sound because we didn't want to step on anybody's toes who didn't. But if you do watch it, I kind of like their accents because they all sound like Irish to me. So it's kind of funny to listen to everybody do those fights with an Irish accent. I don't know, it's just kind of cool. So Dash, if you wouldn't mind showing that. So of course we're starting out here showing. First, we start with a quick cinematic. This is stuff that's been actually released by Carbine, so it's okay to show this. They said, yes, go ahead. So, we start out with this guy casting it out, comes Stormtalon. And from this lovely birthing chamber, pukes on everybody. So they're just getting prepared and everything. But the cool thing is they start right into it. And Tank, of course, grabbing aggro. But just you can see how crazy the fight's going to start to get with everything going on around you. Everybody's kind of, you got to feel sorry for the healer in this because it's really rough. You got everybody spreading out. They all got kicked back there. And
look at the total red ground. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The whole ground is red. Nowhere to go.
It's
You're
insane.
Gonna take damage.
Yeah. And then you get knocked back. And then the important thing here is that you because of interrupt armor, you have to have somebody interrupt, but you also have to be coordinated enough that you have somebody else interrupt it so you stop the boss from casting something. That's very important. I guess it's like if that doesn't go off, you're going to have a big death happening to you. So, coordination is going to be key. Staying out of the pretty red. Unfortunately, Streeg here can't see the pretty red.
Something goes on the ground, I'm just running. I don't care if it's a heal or not. I am out of there.
The healer's going to be screaming at you. But there you go again, getting knocked back again. And, here we go. Here comes all the red. It's just insane. So
it looks like a really neat fight.
Yeah. So the reason that they redid the UI was just for this. You have all the red that's right underneath you. And for an engineer, of course, it would be worse because you have your artillery, your bots and everything right above it. So your screen space right where you're standing is very minimal. And trying to stay out of the red can get hard. So, but they're doing a pretty good job, actually. They haven't died, which is impressive because I watched the end of this cast there and to see if they die in this one, and they did survive. So props to you guys. But there's a lot of graphics that go on in this fight too. You see they're more red, and obviously everybody has to get into the clear patch there. But you see right in the middle of it, they're also throwing down more red circles in your clear area. Jeez.
I get stressed watching these things. I don't know about you guys, but my blood pressure, I think, shoots up when I start watching some of this stuff. Thinking, oh my God, I can feel myself sweating and going, oh God, oh God, oh God.
And definitely, and this is not even the total in-game. This is like, this is the early on, So
yeah,
the later on stuff's going to be insane.
Yeah, Storm Talon is a level 20 dungeon if I heard correctly. So the new stuff was only supposed to be to level 15, but they said go ahead and show a level 20 instance. I think this is their first dungeon. So there's a boss down.
Awesome.
Good job. There's a lot that goes in that fight.
Hats off to them.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? You ready to get into something like that?
I think I'm going to have to start working out my fingers so I can dodge red circles.
Oh,
Get some
no
of those
kidding.
old hand squeezers or whatever so I can loosen my fingers up.
Definitely.
So how in the world do you keep dodging everything and be able to put damage on the boss? That's insane. It's going to keep you
Something
busy.
you got to work out to win.
Yeah.
And if you think that's complicated, wait till you see the raids. I mean, they have got to be just that on steroids. They've got to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I think go ahead.
I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah.
I think this is going to change up healing a lot, though. The way, we used to be able to, the healer would fend for you. I think we're going to have to figure out ways to help the healer. It's going to be necessary because I can't imagine I just can't imagine trying to heal that.
Yeah.
Every class, this game's going to change the aspect of every class. What gone on in the past? I'm this, so this is what I do. You're not going to be able to do that. You're just like you said. You're going to have to back somebody else up, or if you've got an off heal, you're going to have to watch him and watch what we just watched there, and down there, the red on the ground. That ground was red, totally red.
And keep in mind that's just one group of people, and that's one group coordinating. Now put 40 people in there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing, man.
Sorry about
Absolutely
that.
amazing.
Your mind went, but I'm talking about the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I just chose to ignore it.
Yeah. So, hey, Dash, you want to bring up that other interface? This will be what they're going from and going to. Let me bring up mine so I can actually be able to talk to you guys. Fail, Dave. Fail. Let's bring this over here so I can see it. Fail. Much more streamlined. You can see they moved the bars out from underneath them in the center. They moved them out to the left. Of course, I think that they said that it's still going to, the entire interface is going to be able to be modifiable. So that's very important. So this is not the way you have to have it, is basically what I'm saying. But they've done a lot to streamline it and everything like that. And I think they did a good job myself.
I do.
So
Yes.
One thing that
that's awesome. That's going to be really nice right there. And like Steele said, if the ability to shrink it, make it small, so you can see more screen. Even make it where you can kind of see through it, the opacity or whatever that is, where you can kind of make it transparent or something. That would be awesome too.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of curious on what the UI is going to look like with the raid setups. Because you're going to want to see all the different groups and everything else going on there. So I'm kind of curious on that. Like I said, that nice streamlined picture they have, they don't have a chat window. They don't have your quest log. They don't have your group, your group window, which I'm still up in the air whether I want to go stalker or whether I want to go, a healer class. So I'm kind of back and forth. But if I go healer, then that group window is always very critical to me because I like to see people's health bars. So, you got to move that around. And if you're talking about a 40-man raid, do you want to see everybody's, what's that going to look like? Is that going to get really cluttered? And
remember, Star Wars was about as basic as you could get, the Old Republic. I mean, it had basically a health bar and a energy or mana bar, whatever you want to call it, and there wasn't really much to it. It still took up a lot of the screen. Now, if they can make the background of that transparent, it'll help a little bit, but it might also confuse a lot of people too.
Mm-hmm.
Not
having to watch
background.
for those telegraphs and everything, that's going to be a little bit more critical that you've got viewable space on your screen as compared to the old school games that didn't have that telegraph system that all you had to worry about is which which direction that boss mob was facing, so you can make sure you're not on the frontal cone of it. But now you're going to have to be jumping around all over the place. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Well, raid leader's going to have a lot of work.
Yes, everybody's going to have a lot of work.
Yeah.
Poor healers.
Past games, I mean, we've seen how they set up their group frames. It, like Steel said, it takes up the whole screen. There's really nothing you can do about it. You can shrink them down, and then you can't really see. A healer always expands his, so he can see the health bar, or or he can just easily, if he has to click, he has to be able to click people. If it's shrunk down, he can't do it. Somebody else like tanking or DPS, they don't really care. Shrink it down. I mean, remember SWG? Remember how ugly that was? You had a whole line of people all the way down one side of the screen. It took a third of your screen, literally. You couldn't do nothing with it, really. So I hope that they come up with something, or else at least be able to be where we can move them around accordingly. Making it kind of transparent would probably be the best option so far, just a guess.
Yeah. People get in there and play around with it, and they'll find the best thing that works for them. And that's what's important, is having that availability to find the best thing that works for you personally as a player.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll have like an option where you can save multiple UIs, so you can have like a separate UI just for raids, so you can say, I don't care about the chat window, I don't care about the quest stuff, shut all that stuff down while I'm in a raid. And then when I'm in like a group or solo, then I can bring that stuff back. So swap back and forth between UIs would probably be pretty handy.
It's kind of like the old Republic is. You can save it to a file, and then when you press a button, this little drop down comes down, and you press Streeg raid, Streeg grind, or Streeg whatever, and then
hanging
it'll
in the house
UI around. So there you go. Yeah. I love it. And then you can take that file and you can share it. Hey, you're having trouble. I'm having trouble with my UI. Here, try this one. And it may improve them. I like it.
Well, I know in other games, I'm fanatical about looking at screenshots from other games, especially when I'm playing them. And every once in a while I'll stumble across, oh, well, they put their raid screen here, or, oh, well, that's a neat place to put a chat box. I didn't think of that, or yeah, I like the size of those boxes, or, you get different ideas doing that.
Yeah.
It really helps a lot.
And it improves your gameplay. It does. If you say, wow, why didn't I think of that before? And it's like night and day.
Once again, it sounds like you're coming right down to the core of our values and grievances is members helping members. That's all it boils down to, helping out at the other people you got with you.
That's right.
Oh man, honor, love, man. I love you guys. So
I won't point down again. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, don't point down again. I love you, man. One thing that kind of surprised me is in the old HUD there was no clock. In the new HUD, there's no clock. That's kind of important to me. I got to have a clock on my screen, or else I'm not going to know what time it is, and I'm going to be going to bed at 3 a.m. and waking up 2 hours later to go to work.
Well, that'll be. Are you currently facing a wall of some sort?
I am.
There you go. There's where your clock goes. I don't personally want to know what time it is, or I'll start being like, oh my God, it's getting late.
I understand. I like a clock too. I really do. The game's going to have add-ons. I mean, you probably don't tell them what kind of unlimited stuff you'll be able to put on your screen. Somebody will come up with some kind of fancy little clock.
You won't catch me using add-ons if I don't have to.
No.
I totally agree. I'm not an add-on person either. I want to, if there's something that's fixing to happen, I want to do it or expect it because of experience. I don't want something saying you're going to get hit with this ability.
Well, that's not even my problem with add-ons. My problem with add-ons is every once in a while the game itself they'll do an update to the game that's true. And let's say you're working all day and you get in, you got like an hour before the raid, and you log in, and due to today's patch,
all your add-ons are screwed up.
All your add-ons are just screwed up. Yep. So I try to avoid them as much as possible. I know there's people that live by that, and God bless y'all. You've got some patience. I don't. But when I log in and my add-ons are all messed up, I'm like, oh, and so I avoid any and all add-ons I can, except those dictated by the raid leader that you need.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, I'm just the opposite. When I played World of Warcraft, what game? Didn't play a game. I loved add-ons. Yeah, I loved add-ons. I was a guy who would go and I would look for a new add-on all the time, and I just like the because I'm not good writing macros. It was nice to have somebody that put an add-on together that could do macros for me. So I kind of enjoyed that. So I'm kind of the opposite of that. But you're right. When I had a patch day, oh man, did that blow! And if they didn't, if the person that wrote the add-on didn't update it, oh man, if you got yourself hooked on that add-on and you could not play with that without having that add-on, you've found yourself in quite a bind. So it's a bad hitch, and I'm frozen for some reason. That's odd.
You're back.
You're good now. You're back.
Oh,
Yep, just came back.
Now I'm back from outer space.
And I'm so happy.
Earlier we were talking about songs that get stuck in our heads and everything, and well, there you go. We'll just start boisterously singing songs.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I play kind of a minimalist when it comes to the UI, so I don't usually jump on a whole lot of the add-ons, but I gotta say, when it comes to certain things like telegraph system and colors, I'm going to be all over those add-ons, so looking for something that I can actually see what the heck's going on. You know, forget about this red, green colors. I want plaids and stripes.
Now, has there been any word from Carbine on doing something with the different color circles to help people who are colorblind? Has there been any word at all?
At the beginning,
said,
there was.
Yeah, they said they're definitely going to have some colorblind options, but I've found from past history that the colorblind options they give you are
more colors.
Yeah, they're just different colors that I can't see. So I mean, ooh. So I'm hoping for an add-on that you will actually be able to select your own colors for each individual type thing.
If not colors, patterns. If it's a red damage circle, it needs a checkerboard, or if it's a heal circle, maybe diagonal lines within the circle, something to differentiate something for people who have trouble seeing color like you do.
Yeah.
So that does help you, is having the stripes and everything. Because I wouldn't know. I've
never tried that. I don't know.
Never tried. Okay.
I mean, I can definitely, if the colors are far enough apart, I won't have a problem. So, if I can have, blue, I can see the difference between blue and red, but I can't see like blue and purple. I'll have no idea. Red and green, I have no idea. Usually red and orange, I have no idea. So I've got to have the colors like completely different spectrums of the color. If they're any kind of shades, forget it. I mean,
see, and then there's other people that have trouble seeing different colors. So to me, patterns within the circle would almost be a better answer to that.
I'm just not sure how that would work when, like, one telegraph goes down and then something goes over the top of it. I'm not sure how that would play out, if it would mess up what the pattern looks like. I don't know. Maybe you could have like little H's spread around for heal and D's for damage or something, kind of like
an option to turn it on and off or something like that. That'd be good too.
I'm sure I'll figure something out with it. There's no doubt. But worst case scenario, like I said, I'm running away from the heals. So
with the pattern thing, I mean, like you said, if you have a telegraph out in front of you, if you have an option of not turning a coloring on at all. And like Steel says, if you have an option to turn a pattern on, and it's got diagonal stripes, if you see two of them overlap each other, then you'll see where the stripes crisscross, and it'll amplify. You'll be able to see it. You won't see color. You'll see the patterns, and that would be a huge help.
Even if the damage patterns had a pattern to it just for damage, and then the others didn't, at least good pattern. Right. No, or good circle, no pattern. Bad circle, pattern, run.
See,
or make it to where it says run. Big letters, run.
Yes.
I mean, you remember some of the Old Republic stuff. You had a good circle that you stood in and got healed. Then you had another circle.
Golden circle.
that had the little pinwheel that spun in it, and then that was a bad circle. You just knew.
I'm hoping for something, because I've been
Yeah.
dealing about this for years. I mean, even long before telegraphs. I mean, how many times have we always seen a system with loot, and the different tiers of loot are different colors? I've never had a clue. Not a clue. I don't know if this thing is red or blue or purple or orange, and I'm like,
No wonder people like grouping with you.
yeah,
Flame is
This guy-
pink.
that's
This
right.
guy needed on everything. What's
What
wrong with
color is that? It's green, Streeg. It's green.
I don't know the color. Pass. I don't care. Pass.
You'd be the most patchwork person I've ever seen. Why'd you put those colors together? It's all good. I just can't imagine having that problem. Hats off to you for even gaming with that. That's impressive.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
I don't,
Trask,
I
and
don't
you've met
understand either. I can't understand what that's like not to see certain colors. That would probably drive me nuts.
Well, you know, Trask and Cannon's met Trask before. He is totally colorblind. He sees things in basically from what he describes, it seems like almost shades of gray, and he can see brightness changes in brightness like a traffic light. He can tell that a traffic light is red or green or yellow based on what is brighter, but he still has some issues with that too.
He has
They
a
went to
glove
those
box
LED
of
traffic lights. I
stoplight
think it
tickets.
messed him up pretty bad.
Yes.
Nice. So
At
what's
least with this, it's just a game. So, I figure, it's just a game. If I don't see the colors, I'm running away from a heal or something, then what's going to happen, I'm going to die. Ooh.
You're gonna have to play a healer so you get heals.
Yes.
That's the only way it's gonna
Streeg,
work.
why
out.
are you blowing your mana healing? I don't know. I thought I was standing in damage.
So what do they have coming up? Let's see. Well, I know that this coming Saturday, they said. Is it on this Saturday? Adventures from last week. They're going to be doing a live stream on Adventures this coming Saturday, March 1st, 12 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. So we got another live stream coming up. More Frost action. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Sweet.
Yeah, I do like Frost. I was telling, I think I told you, Steel, is so we have to approve everybody that signs up for the website before we actually get it, just to make sure we don't get any computers trying to log in and do some nasty stuff. But the other day, up in my email, it said Frost 33 is signed up to join the guild, and I was going, oh my God, Frost has signed up. I was like a little fangirl. I was so excited. So when I got home, I check it out. I'm like, oh, he's joining to play a different game. That's not Frost. And then I was sad for the rest of the day. Welcome to the Guild, Frost. I changed your name. Sorry. No, I didn't. But yeah, a little fangirl, me running around like that. It's kind of disturbing, actually. So.
Yes, that is a little disturbing.